Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Erschen, and this week we're going to take a look back at one of my favorite slasher movies from the early 2000s. I know I can tend to be really old school with my show. I tend to focus on a lot of 70s and 80s classics. I can't help it, that's what I grew up with. But now and then there is one that comes along that I really enjoy, that really stands out from the pack. And this is definitely one of them, in my opinion, and that is Wrong Turn. Starring Desmond Harrington, Eliza Dushku, Jeremy Sisto, and it's produced by none other than Stan Winston, the legendary special effects artist, who also, his crew actually does do the special effects for this movie as well, and the makeup effects. And they do a fantastic job. So we got a bright young cast here. These aren't just cookie cutter characters. You actually care about these people because you got a bright young cast and they do a great job. You want to see these people survive. You want to see them get out of danger, get away. But the film pays such great homage to classics like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Deliverance, Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes, I Spit on Your Grave, Motel Hell. It goes on and on. It plays loving homage to those films, and that's one of the things I really enjoy. But it's, of course, very updated to nowadays. And there's just great tension. There's real suspense, and they really cared about this movie. It wasn't just a knockoff, cheap flick, you know. They really cared about what they were doing. They wanted to make a great horror film for the modern audience. So the film begins. We meet Desmond Harrington's character, who I believe is there to visit family. So he's out in West Virginia and he's stuck in traffic. And they finds out that it's going to be about 2 hours he's going to be stuck in traffic. So he decides to make a wrong turn. See what I did there? So he makes a turn and decides he wants to try another route. So he ends up at this gas station, which is real run down, run by this real gritty redneck dude who has about one tooth, I think. And he's not very cooperative. He's not very helpful. He doesn't give a damn. He doesn't even want to get off his freaking chair. But the guy sees a map on the wall, so he goes by that and says, "Take care, buddy. I'll see you later." And the dude's like, "You should take care." And so he tries to go that route and ends up getting into a huge accident with this other group of young teenagers who are off on a wild adventure. We find out later from Eliza Dushku's character that they were just off on an adventure because she had just gone through a breakup recently, and they just wanted to kind of cheer her up by going out camping. But of course they have no idea what they're doing. They're lost, and now they get into this huge accident with this guy, and both their cars are just absolutely totaled. And they actually find out that they may have been sabotaged because in the road they found some barbed wire on the road, and it's like tied to these trees, and it's like, whoa, somebody's out to get him or something. What's going on here? This isn't just an accident. They planned this. So someone's out to get him. So they all decide to band together to try and get some help. Maybe find someone's house, see if they can call the police, use their phone, or find another gas station somewhere. And they come across this house that's real, like, it's a real cabin in the woods. It's real run down, you know, like that classic, like, Evil Dead style, you know, cabin. And even Jeremy Sisto's character, like, you know, we might want to turn around, you might want to keep walking. Might it remind you of this little film called Deliverance? But yeah, they make a bad decision, and along the way we meet these horrible, disfigured, like, mutants. They're not just your regular, you know, backwoods hillbillies. These guys are, like, grotesque, absolutely grotesque. And but they're no dummies. They've been in the woods for way too long, and they're trained killers. These guys know what they're doing. They are out to hunt. They are trained hunters. They are absolute killers. And so that's what they do. They pick them off one by one. God knows what their plan is to do with them. I don't know if they're cannibals or what, but they just like to kill people and hack their ass up. And there's some great gore effects in the film. There's one scene where one of the girls gets her head chopped right in half with an axe, and it sticks right into the tree, and we see the rest of the girl's body fall down the tree. It's nasty, nasty. So great gore effects by the Stan Winston crew there. I love it. And it's all practical too. I didn't notice any CGI, and that was in the early 2000s they were using a lot of CGI in horror, which they still are, of course, but this was all practical effects, all old-fashioned makeup effects with blood and gore, and you know, I love it. I love it. It's just such a great throwback to the classics of the 70s and 80s, with a real great modern twist, with a bright young cast, really talented, and Eliza Dushku is a great final girl, one of the best final girls of the new millennium, has to be. So Run and Buy Wrong Turn, it's an excellent flick. It's got great tension, great suspense, great gore effects, everything you could want in a horror movie, everything you could want in a slasher movie, and it's great for the modern era. So Run and Buy Wrong Turn now. What are you waiting for? It stars Desmond Harrington, Eliza Dushku, Jeremy Sisto, and is produced by the legendary Stan Winston. And thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Erschen, in the Horror Corner. Tune in and stay scared.